Good afternoon, class. Today we are going to be learning how to paint with watercolors. This is what watercolors look like. When you get them out of the package, they are like a dry cake of color. So once you dip your brush in some water and mix it in with the colors, it'll turn into more of a paint like you're used to with regular paint. So the materials you need are your paints. You don't really need this many colors, and I'll explain why in a minute, but this is just extra. You're going to need your brushes, and I have some different shapes of brushes that you can use. And you're also going to need a cup of water and a paper towel or a napkin to dab off your brush, the excess water on your brush. So the reason why, and this is the reason why I love watercolor painting, that you don't need all of these colors exactly, is because depending on how much water you mix in with your paints and how much water you have on your brush when you go to put it onto paper, the shade of the color will be different. So right now, I don't have a whole lot of water mixed in with this red, but when I go to paint on my paper, it's like a darker color red. So if I go to add some more water in with it to get it thinner, and then I paint, it's a lighter shade of red. You could even mix in some more water just straight onto your paper. And it's even lighter. So it's really fun to play with these colors because you can make all the different kind of colors that you want, and you don't need a whole lot of paints to do it. Another reason I love these paints is because they're so forgiving. And forgiving means that if you make a mistake, it's okay, because you can easily fix it or create its own little creation, and it'll become part of your picture. And it might even become your favorite part when you're finished. So today our activity is going to be to create a underwater scene, since we are using watercolors. So whatever that may look like to you, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so let me get a new piece of paper out. And I'll start with some blue, because to me, I think water's blue. But some people might think it's purple, maybe even with a little bit of black to make it like a darker blue. The other important thing to know when you're painting in general is different techniques. So one important technique is lines. You can use all different kinds of lines to create different designs and pictures just based on your lines. So right now I'm using a really squiggly looking line, and it looks like water. Let's do a lighter blue. Let's get some more water mixed in here. Let me get some water and dip it in. So I'm using a bunch of squiggly lines to make my water, but you can use whatever kind of line shape you want. I want you guys to really be creative and use your imaginations. This picture can be whatever you want it to be. It could even be in the bathtub. If you have a favorite toy that you use in the bathtub, that's still underwater, right? So I have my water now. Did you see that? So now I'm going to paint a fish because I like to go fishing. And as we all know, fish live in the water. Let's see, I think I want a purple fish today. The other thing I want you guys to remember is you can make anything any color you want. It doesn't have to be how it is in real life. You can be as creative as you want. I don't think I've ever seen a purple fish, but purple is my favorite color, so I wanted a purple fish. Another important thing to know when you're painting or just drawing or anything like that is to add patterns and textures to your paintings so that they look more dimensional and they have a little bit of depth to them. They look more like real life. So I'm going to add some scales to my fish to give it a pattern and a texture. Let's do some green scales. So I'm just going to add little tiny dots to my fish to give it a pattern. Another thing you could do when you're watercolor painting is take a crayon and draw out the outline of your paint or your picture that you want to have, and then go back in and paint, and the crayon will repel the water because it's wax, so it won't let the water get in those particular areas, and so you'll have more of an outline of your picture. You could even use a white crayon if you wanted to, and then your lines wouldn't even show up. It would just be blank. And I have some crayons. If anyone wants to try that technique, y'all are more than welcome to do that. Okay, so there's my fish with his green scales. And I'm going to go ahead and pass out our paints and y'all can get started. And if anyone has any questions, you guys can ask me, and you know that. All right, let's get started.